Hi guys, so we're going to look at training when injured. Now, when we're talking about injury, we're talking about not having the cold and flu and things like that, so not an illness. We're talking about where you have pain, where that pain is caused hopefully by mechanical breakdown, where you maybe have a slight muscle strain or something kicking in, and where we're talking about the muscle not having not being ruptured or pulled or anything like that, where it's just a slight strain, so there's no tear, okay? When we're doing this, and I'm kind of a classic case at the moment, I got injured at the weekend a little bit, pulled my lower back, my left SI joint's a bit sort of niggly, and I'm trying to find out what's going on with it, and it's more just muscle spasm, to be honest with you, around that area. It's been pulling because there was quite a lot of trauma and impact went on, so I'm just letting it rest a little. An easy example of this is I took my full conventional deadlifts out the other night. I decided that it wasn't probably the best idea, just in case, because it was more of a high risk thing. So I decided instead I was just going to do some fairly heavy loaded barbell glute bridges, whereby I was driving up through my glutes, I was focusing on core stability, and then I was asking myself, well, what's kicking in, when's it kicking in, and what should I feel and when? And I was making sure my obliques were kicking in, my glutes and my core, etc. at the right time. And I just really focused on that movement, and I went up through the weight selection slowly, no lower back pain. Then I moved on to squat, and I was absolutely fine here, kept the exact same depth, I just reduced the weight. And I didn't really have any issues. I did some breathing drills and worked on some core stability stuff in between as a superset to keep me going. And what I'm trying to say here is, yes, you can still train when injured. Yeah, you can still move, you can still do something. You just have to play down your level. So you just have to reduce maybe your volume, reduce maybe your load, or change the movement that you're trying to do. So from then I went from sort of top end, full conventional deadlift, I just went right back. I wasn't going to do any loaded hinges at all. In a standing position, I just went so that I was in a supine position, and I was just driving up into heavy loaded glute bridges to make sure those were firing correctly and I wasn't rotating or anything. This happened as well when I broke my collarbone. So broke my collarbone, okay, what am I going to do? Well, I was really struggling to do upper body, obviously, because collarbone supports everything through to the shoulder and the rib cage area and the head position, etc. So doing things like bench press and all that sort of stuff were out. Even things like rows really hurt. I couldn't squat or front squat or back squat. It was too sore. So I just trained body weight. I just kept moving. And that was the important thing, so that 6 or 8 weeks later, when I could actually load and lift, I came back and was in a better place than having done absolutely nothing. So when you're injured, try and do something, reduce the level, seek advice, figure out what's going on in terms of muscle imbalances, and try and reduce the amount of compensations. This may mean not lifting at all. It may mean just training body weight and understanding how to move better. But once you do that, you're going to come back stronger 2 or 3 months later when you're actually able to lift again, having recovered, depending on what your injury is. Okay?